Hello everyone, my name is Gökhan. Today I will introduce the card game I coded using Java. Enjoy watching. First, let's run our game and play a few rounds, then we will examine the code together. And I'm running my code using the terminal. Let's start. This is my project, untitled.jar. And let's play. First, we have two players, player 1, player 2, and player 1 starts the game. Each player has 5 cards, like this, and there are 3 cards in the middle. At the beginning of the game, player 1's cards are visible, while the other cards remain hidden. The score is calculated automatically in here for player 1 because these cards are visible. Let's select and change a few cards. I choose this one. Change. Let's do the same for player 2 and select a few cards. I choose ace and this one. Change. When we click the change button, the scores for the first set appear on the right side. So player 1 score is 329 for first set and player 2 score is 111. And when we click the next set button, player 2 starts the next round and we can see these cards are open. Let's select next set and select some of cards. I choose these two and change. And I choose these two, also change. We continue by clicking the next set button until we reach the end of the game. Let's play other sets. I choose this one only. Change. Change. Next. Change. Change. The game has ended and the player scores for each set are displayed on the right. The restart button appears in here and also set victories 3 for player 2, set victories 1 for player 1, and also you can show all points for player 1 or player 2. The restart button appears. If we click this button, the game will reset and return to the beginning. Let's play one or two more game. Change. This one, change. Next. Change. Change. Next. Change. Change. Next. Change. So in here, winner is player 1. Set victories 3 for player 1 and set victories 1 for player 2. You can also see the points. Let's play last game. I choose this one. Change. Next. Change. Next. Change. Next. Change. Change. Next. Change. Restart. Yes, this is how our game works correctly. Now we can briefly review the codes. Let's open the Eclipse IDE. Here. I create a project called Card Game, and there are 4 different classes inside the project. First one is App class. In here I create a window, set default close operation, and width is 1000, height is 600, and visibility of frame to true. Second one is player Java. In here are get here. Start of player class, string name variable of player, array list that takes card object inside that holds player cards, score for player, number of sets that player win, player constructor that takes name string as parameter, and assign name parameter to player's name variable, assign score to 0, and initialize player cards array list, assign the number of sets player win to 0, getter method that returns name of the player object, return player name, setter method that assign new name to the player object, assign new parameter to player name, getter method that returns score of the player object and return player score, and setter method that assign new score to the player object, assign new parameter to player score, getter method that returns set num of the player object, return set num of player, and setter method that assign new value to the player object, and getter method that returns player cards array list, return player cards array list, add card method that adds a new card object to the end of player cards array list, add parameter card object to player card array list, and set card methods. Set card method that adds a card to given index, adds card to given index and remove existing one, like changes cards that stores in the index, remove card method that removes card object of given index from player card array list, removes card from the given index, and method to remove all items from array list and remove all items. Let's look at here, card class. In here we have card object and suite variable, number variable, and variable that stores the path of card images, icon variable to store images of cards, and card constructor that takes path string parameter, from last and assign it, actually assign path, and then take fifth character from last and assign it as suite, assign 10 if sixth character is 1, otherwise assign the character, take icon from path And getter method that gets path, return path. Setter method that assign new path to cart, assign new path, assign new suite, assign new value, take new icon, and getter method that returns suite, and getter method that returns number or value, return number, return icon, method that says new icon, assign new icon, and toString methods in here. And actually here GameFrame is our main class. In here GameFrame class that contains all GUI elements and logical methods and random, a variable that stores a player object according to turn, a boolean variable name winner that determines if there is a winner or not, is x coordinate for set labels and y coordinate for set labels, assign setNum as 1 because we are in set 1 at the beginning, a boolean variable that determines is it end of set or not, and a button to pass next set. All GUI elements, all GUI components is here, and all 53 cards in here with card back. Let's remove this one. And I create a players. I create a new player named player 1 and player 2. I create card array list in here, array list to store all cards and array list to store 3 common cards, and constructor methods. Title is card game, no layout for JFrame, not resizable, and I create new button handler named handler, assign player 1 object to player turn variable because player 1 must start first, a method to add all cards object to array list and shuffle them, then distribute cards. And here we have panel declare. I create a new panel and set its layout to null, make it this color a color like green, and set location, position and width height, add it to JFrame, and I create new panel and set its layout to null, make it a color like green again but different, set its position and white height and add it to JFrame. Let's move, and here set bounds of next set button is here, added to main panel, main game panel and J panel, and action listener method for next set button, reset game in here, and set visibility to false, initially when needed it will be active, and here player 1. I add player 1 name to its label and a font like this, player 1, and also player 2 is same font. Let's close this one, and I put player 1 score to the label, I put player 1 setNum to label, add action listener to that button, and get icon of all player 1's cards, and initialize all player one's card checkbox, and set bounds of all player one's components. And let's move 1 second. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, in here, set bounds of next set button is here. Edit to main game panel. Name is jpanel, and here initialize labels that prints player scores at the end of every set, and add all player one components to their corresponding panel in here. And also here player 2, make same thing for with player 1, so we can skip it. In here, common cards is here. Get icon of all common cards and set their bounds at the start of the game logic, and add all cards to deck array list. And for all cards, choose a number between 0 to 51. Take card at the chosen index and store it. Take the first card from array list and put it to chosen index. Put card at the temp variable to the first index of array list. And let's move. In here, this method distributes cards to both player and to the middle of the table. 3 common cards for 5 times. And take first card and give it to player 1. Remove first card from deck. Take next card and give it to player 2. Remove that card from deck for 3 times. Add card at given index to common cards array list. Remove that card from deck. And logical start. Flip back common cards. Flip back player 2's cards at the start of the game. Call turn card change and set card images for current player turn. Calculate score for current player turn and turn change methods. If it is player 1's turn, make it player 2's turn. If it is not, make it player 1's turn. And here a method to change status of various things according to player turn. A couple of arrays to store all necessary elements to make things faster and easier. And if it is player 1's turn, for 5 times, open all of player 1's card and enable player 1's change button. Disable player 2's change button and enable all of player 1's checkbox and disable all of player 2's checkbox. If it is player 2's turn, for for 5 times. Let's move. for 5 times. Open all of player 2's cards and enable player 2's change button and disable disable player 1's change button. Enable all of player 2's checkboxes and disable all of player 1's checkboxes. And here this method changes selected card from player's hands, and if it is player 1's turn, for 5 times, check all checkboxes if it is selected or not. Add player's card to deck and choose a random integer between 0 to 51 and take card from deck which is index is card index and add it to player hand. Remove that card from deck and get new icon of change card and show it. Make the checkbox unselected. Let's move here. If it is player 2's turn, for 5 times for all components, choose all checkboxes if it is selected or not. Add player's cards to deck. Choose a random integer between 0 to 51. Take card from deck which is index is card index and add it to player hand. Remove that card from deck. Get new icon of changed card and show it. Make the checkboxes unselected. This method returns card real value, like 14 for ace, 13 for king, 12 for queen, and 11 for jack. Let's make it better. Where are we? We are here. Score is initially 0, so we will use this for counting how many straight cards are there, and we will use this to determine what is the last straight card, and also this will help to determine what is the first straight card. And create a hash map for seed counting, create a hash map again but now for value counting, array list to add 5 plus 3 cards, and array list for sorted values, and array list for array list to put removed card from templates and check for future stuff. Take all cards of player and put them to the template. If is end of set flag is true, then we must add common cards to templates for calculate our final score. And add common cards and add all cards stored in templates to sorted values array list 2. Then sort this array list. Start counting suite numbers and start from the end of template. And if that card's suite is more than or equal to 5 in suite map, then we must add it to scoring, which means we need to calculate score for this case and add that card's value to score, and remove that cards from templates because I want to calculate remaining cards score, and I don't want these cards to mix things up. So finally multiply this score with 6, and after that And now start looking for straight. We are going to use sorted values. If first index's value plus 1 is equal to next index's value, this means first index and the one that comes after it creates a straight case. So we are increasing straight count by 1, and if we are in a place where our count is 4 or more, which means we have a minimum 5 cards that is straight, we determine our last straight one after from current index. If current 2 cards not set a straight, we must break the cycle and reset count. After that, now if we have a straight case after the loop ends, take card from the end of the tab list. Let's move. Yeah. If tab list cards value is equal to value list value is here. This is better. Little bit. Add that card to removed cards array list and remove it from tab list. Now for all removed cards, add their values to score and finally multiply score by 5. So set player's final score is here. If it is player 1's turn, update its score label text. If not, update player 2's score label text. This method determines is there a winner or not. Check winner. Create a previous player variable to use it later. If it is player 1's turn, previous is player 2. As previous is player 1. If previous player's score is not 0, means other player played and has a score. Now it is turn of last player before and end of the set. Set is end of set is true. Calculate both players scores 5 plus 3 cards, means set it back to false and create set label, set bounds of label and label to panel, update GUI and increase Y coordinate for labels, increase set num by 1. If player 1's score greater than player 2's score, and increase player 1's win set number by 1, update set num label. Let's move here. 1 second. Yeah, it's better. Increase player 2's win set number by 1, update set num label, and if either of player win 3 sets, it means game over. Set winner flag true and make progress button label and play again. And this color is like green, and also this one is green. And call end set as make progress button label next set. And here this method makes setup for the end of the set. For all common cards, open all common cards and disable all of player checkboxes. Disable player 1's change button, disable player 2's change button, and set visible next button. This method triggers with next button action listener, and if winner flag is true, must reset all game to start again. So set num to 0 for all players, and set victor labels for all set labels, the ones that show both players' scores for every set. So let's move. One second. In here, set all of them to reset and reset set label X position, reset set label Y position, and set num to 1, make it player 1's turn, and set winner flag to false, and set visibility of next set play game button to false, and set in is end of set flag to false, reset player score, update players score labels, and for all players cards label for 5 times, add player 1's and player 2's cards to deck, and reset both players hand. And here choose a random number between 0 to 51 and take a card from chosen index inside deck and give it to player 1's hand. Remove that card from the deck. Choose a random number again. Take a card from chosen index inside deck and give it to the player 2's hand. Remove that card from the deck and close both players' cards. For all common cards, add all common cards to deck and choose a random number between 0 to 51. Change these new chosen cards from deck with the ones in the common cards array list, and remove these cards from the deck and go back to start point. So main game cycle, when click change button, if there is a winner or if it is the end of the sets, don't continue cycle. Yeah, it's end of my code. Let's play one more time to show you. I choose this one, change, next, change, next, change, next, change, next, change. So winner is player 1. Set victory is 3 for player 1. Set victory is 2 for player 2. So winner is player 1. If I can choose restart button, everything is beginning. Thank you for watching.